afternoon everybody. I thought I'd do a March video on what to do roughly on a cricket square. It really depends on where you are, what location you're at. It's very generic, so but yeah, this time of year we'd be cutting between 18 and 20 mil. We're currently cutting at 20, but there may be some people that are a lot higher than that. Some that are lower than that, but whatever you do, I think the best thing is not to take it down too quick, so make it gradual. Work with the weather. It's really nice and warm at the moment. Some overseeding, we've actually done some today, and we've done that at sort of our halfway through our pre-season rolling stage, and by doing that we're hoping that we've rolled some of that seed actually into the surface. We actually did create some holes as well for the seed, and then we've kind of brushed it in and then rolled over. I'm just trying to find a bit for you. Yeah, not the best there, but that's sort of been rolled in a bit. But yeah, if you're not going to roll it in, you can always just create some holes 10-15 mil deep, brush some seed over it. You get a lot of little sort of areas, little round areas after sort of disease dieback from the sort of the winter that's left over. You can also go through them with a little thin bladed sort of garden fork, and just make lots of holes 10-15 mil deep and put some seed into them. Nutrition wise, it's always tricky this time of year because you've kind of got to fit in. You've either got to get a pre-season fertilizer in at the start of your pre-season rolling, which I always tend to do, just try and strengthen the sward up a bit. As you can see, this has kind of dropped off a little bit, but the rolling will do that, and we've done verticutting on it as well, and cutting, so we've increased our intensity. But it's not, you know, things are not really, I mean, it's ideal rolling and everything, but for the plant it probably doesn't want to be pushed, you know, so you have to be gentle with it. But what we do is we will push this a bit with pre-season rolling, and then if we're going to get a sort of a wet spell, then we'll get the a fertilizer on, then something like a 10-12% nitrogen. We get that on. We just need to make sure it's very well washed in to ensure it doesn't get picked up on the roller. So I'll probably just go with this now. Keep pushing ahead, and then put the granular fertilizer on afterwards to help it all recover. I'm quite fortunate I have a liquid sprayer, so I will every once a week or so put some liquid nitrogen on, which will just go in through the leaf. There's no real problem with the roller picking that up once it's dry on the leaf. But I say with granular, you need to make sure it's really well washed in. You also need to, if you're overseeding, like this seed here that I've put in today, it's probably not going to come up because I'm not going to water it or anything. It'll probably be a couple of weeks before it comes up. So the fertilizer I do put on, just have to be a bit wary, because the iron in it can sort of scorch young leaves, so that's something to be a bit wary of. Yeah, for the ends you can also use like a sorrel roller. It's another thing. Just see that seed source contact there, which is really what you're after. Just looking back at my notes, got squaring up the square. A lot of you have already probably done that. We've got some permanent marks in our square that we just recheck. I'll just walk over to them. But say we're trying to, so you've got your square is dead square by Pythagoras theory. There it is. It's that carrot's a permanent carrot, plastic carrot that gets trimmed down with a heighter cut and then just kind of stays at that height. You do have to recheck them. We recheck them and put in our pictures at every 10 foot along there, so they'll get marked at the end of the week. As we get towards the weekend, when we're on the square a lot less, there's no point doing them early because they'll probably get cut out or whatever. Just seeing what else. So yes, we're amongst our pre-season rolling, we're also doing quite a lot of brushing, just because, you know, the roller pushes it down. and if you've gone down over it too much, you can't tend to see where you've been because the roller's down. So we do quite a lot of brushing. At the moment, with these nice blue skies, we're not really getting any dew, any heavy dews that can create disease problems. So it's more about getting the grass standing up, keeping it upright. So when we do roll, the grass is sort of upwards a bit. We can see where we last went. And verticutting, that should be kind of matched with growth, I think. We did one last week where we didn't really hammer it, but we did go for it, just a bit of a clean up. You see there's a bit of yellow grass in there and a bit of stuff that's left over from winter where some leaves sort of died off, so we just collecting up. We do that also with a brush on a cassette mower as well, so we sort of keep the surface clean. You've got a lot of sort of debris and stuff, and I'm not saying you'd roll it in, but it's not a bad procedure. But whatever you do regarding verticutting, just match it to aggression. So this isn't really growing much now, so we won't verticut it again for another week or two. We just need a bit more, needs to feel a bit fresher, and the grass is a bit you know, it's kicked on a bit, and then we would consider doing it then. But yeah, it's a sort of gentle time of year, but also we're kind of stressing the plant out as well. But yeah, you can see for the outfield's very hungry, but we're kind of waiting on that because we have football here, so we're another couple of weeks we renovate, so there's no point putting a fertilizer on that at the moment. We're very lucky that we've got some funds available so we can renovate the outfield. It'll be a light renovation, but we're scarifying one direction with seed, and then we will very lightly top dress, and then we will put a pre-seed fertilizer on top, and then we'll hope it rains and hopefully bounce the outfield back for sort of the start of the cricket season, where it'll be nice and green and striped up. But at the moment you're kind of seeing it as worse, but it is only early March, and that's more than to be expected really this time of year. You know, we're putting demands on the plant really that it's not really ready for. So but yeah, I hope that video was of some help. If you have any questions, suggestions, we're all learners here, even me. Yeah, or say any questions, just put them in the comments, and if I know them, I'll answer them. Thank you.